Hope everyone is starting off the new year right. Hope everyone is doing well. This is not the way I wanted to start off the new year. If you're a Washington Commanders fan, the Washington Commanders lost to the Cleveland Browns 24-10 today. With this loss, as well as the Green Bay Packers win over the Minnesota Vikings, Washington has been officially eliminated from the playoffs. In other words, Washington's season is over. After next week's game against the Dallas Cowboys, we're not going to the playoffs. We're done. Finito. And Carson Wentz, I've been very critical of Carson Wentz in the first place. I never wanted him to be the guy for us. And it was a mistake, huge mistake, by trading him in the offseason, last offseason. And in the game against Cleveland, he validated every reason why, what I've been saying about him. He was 16-28, 143 yards, 3 interceptions. Fans at FedEx Field were booing. They were booing Carson Wentz's performance, and even got so bad that they chanted for Heineke to play. And what was just as embarrassing is Ron Rivera by putting Carson Wentz and naming him as a starter. So with this loss right here, as well as Washington being eliminated from the playoffs, Carson Wentz's days as a starter are over. Not just with this loss, but also last year and also his final year in Philadelphia. If that isn't enough for you as an NFL executive or NFL coach or any NFL analyst, if that doesn't convince you, that's it for Carson Wentz. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. And Ron Rivera, he was asked about the quarterback situation, about what he's going to do, whether it's going to be either Taylor Heineke, Sam Howell, or Carson Wentz. He said, we'll see. Oh, and also, he was clueless that Washington could be eliminated if the Green Bay Packers beat the Minnesota Vikings, which they did. So changes need to be made in Washington. Number one, Carson Wentz, done. Bye. Ron Rivera, bye. Bye. Absolutely bye. Because you gave up. You quit. I know that's a bold accusation for me to make, but you quit. You quit by going with Carson Wentz instead of Taylor Heineke. Carson Wentz this season is 2-5. Taylor Heineke as a starter, 5-3-1. I'm not saying Taylor Heineke is the most spectacular quarterback in the world, but he showed more potential than Carson Wentz. The fact that he showed more potential with this offense than Carson Wentz tells me that's an indictment on Carson Wentz. It tells me that's an indictment on you, Ron Rivera, because the fact that you went with Wentz over Heineke, even though Heineke was struggling in the 49ers game, the Giants game on Sunday Night Football, but the fact that you went with Carson Wentz over him tells me you are clueless, as well as your press conference. You are clueless, Ron Rivera. And what you did infuriated so many Washington fans. Now, I supported Ron Rivera, especially in 2020. I was very happy and pleased with the job he did for Washington, such as winning the division, given the circumstances he had to deal with. A 2020 COVID year, the quarterback situations with Alex Smith and Dwayne Haskins. Remember, second time Dwayne Haskins violated COVID protocol, and ultimately Washington decided to let him go before the season was finished. Ron Rivera was dealing with health problems at the time. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was dealing with leukemia, but he was still able to lead and coach and got us to the playoffs, helped us win a division. And now he went from resiliency to quitting. It may seem harsh or bold of an accusation for me to make, but based on his body language and based on the way he answered the question from a reporter, he said we could be eliminated. And by putting in Carson Wentz, he quit. So for 2023, changes need to be made. Carson Wentz, Ron Rivera got to go. Scott Turner, the offensive coordinator, got to go. Unfortunately for Washington, we don't have a high draft pick, but we're going to have to use our first round pick to get some offensive linemen because we haven't done our part as far as protecting the quarterback. That's been our Achilles heel, in my opinion. So this season, painful for me because earlier I said that we should tank, put ourselves in the best position possible to get a quarterback like Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, but Taylor Heineke comes in. We were winning. We actually had a chance to compete in the playoffs, and then Ron Rivera replaces him with Carson Wentz, and now our season is over. So it's painful, and it sucks, and Ron Rivera got to go. Got to go. But anyway, let me know in the comment section below, guys, what do you make of the whole Washington loss to the Browns, as well as the Green Bay Packers beating the Minnesota Vikings to end Washington's season and to prevent them from going to the playoffs? What changes need to be made, such as Carson Wentz and Ron Rivera? And what does Washington need to do in order for them to compete in 2023? Outside of that is your boy Sports PSP. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and God bless.